Hey guys, welcome back. This is Lucid, and we've got another turn of our game with Lemuria. It's turn 41, I believe, and the last episode we had a pretty epic battle with Atlantis. He was pretty determined to take one of our forts, and we were pretty determined to not let him do so, and it turns out we were a bit more determined than he was. This turn, though, he seems to want to pay me back with some visits from some undead bears. Not very successful, though. He gets a scout here, which, of course, that's why the scout is there. And then basically continues to get wrecked. He gets one Shadow Tribune. I think that's a 5-gem spell. So, yeah, he spent like 25 gems to kill a scout and then one of my free spawn priests. Okay, buddy. You do that. I've got a Lightless Lantern and fire gems. Got Druid's Grave. Down here, we've got a few battles. We're going to go through this turn pretty quick. Atlantis attacks Marignon here, the little goon squad. Kills his PD, but loses a few guys. And over here, he attacks me. My Cursed Consul dies. We'll watch Scassius in action here. He kind of gets blown the fuck up. Holy Blessing, Unholy Power, Unholy Protection. Scassius looking ready as ever. And then gets hit for 17. These guys hit pretty fucking hard, so... I guess I was hoping that... I was ready on top of his fort. I was hoping that it wouldn't have the hard-hitting guys. Or was that a Snow Captain? Yeah, I don't know. There was definitely one guy with the glaive. I guess that was a Snow Captain. Anyway, Scassius got wrecked. Continues to attack me here. And then here we had a battle in the fort for Arko. Or not Arko's capital, but this one of the... We decided to Vulture Arko. Arko, the player playing Arko is reasonably unresponsive to Diplo. I've been in a few games with them. And they're not terribly chatty with Diplo. I can, on the other hand, be a little bit too chatty sometimes. So, anyway. I had sent him messages saying, hey, if you think you're going to hold out, let me know. And I won't Vulture. But he never sent me anything, so... here comes the Vulture squad. Because it was pretty apparent at this point that that Arko was going to fall. Now we are going to have the last stand of Marignon here. So here are the Marinese army. He's got Marinese armies. He's got some Yetis. He has... Excuse me, yawn. Some Royal Guard, a crossbow contingent. I don't think even Flaming Arrows, which is a little disappointing. And then a bunch of these Diabolists, which... And then a fair amount of these, missionaries? H1 guys. And then in the back, we've got the Big Baconator, aka My Only Hope. This, though, is highly questionable. Like, why would you have a Ring of the Warrior on this guy? He's not going to be attacking much. He's going to be trampling shit. Like, I don't have any size 6 guys, so it's impossible this could do anything. And the Ring of Water Breathing, again, I would say very meh. I'd rate that as highly meh. So yeah, what could you put on? You could do... It looks like he's got a fluffer, though. I don't... These aren't really fluffing paths, though. But, you know, like, good gear for this would be like a dancing shield, or any of the resistance items, maybe. If you thought there was some resistance I was gonna, you know, like elemental type attack I was gonna do, and then like a ring of regen. Or, you know, an amulet of anti-magic, because some of my guys are, you know, Marnie Gates for their attacks. So, anyway, a few things he could have had, but not very impressive. Meanwhile, on our side, we have just... the shadowy hammer of Lemuria. And without further ado, let's get into this battle. Got some fire coming in off the walls. That was Aerofin going off on my side. So now we're going to be mostly immune to the archer fire. Banishment coming down, hitting my ghosts at the gates. There goes Storm, and he's got storm power. So he's got his little chart makers or whatever in a communion. The ghosts not inhibited by the wall. They pour past the wall. But a fair amount of banishment coming down. But you can see the banishment, while it's damaging, it's not devastating. And I think I had Darkness scripted, but I think my guy passed out from Rigor Mortis, and it's going to take him a while to wake up to do Darkness. Which is a little unfortunate, because that's definitely going to increase my casualties. Now, we were we wanted to break through this about as quickly as we could, and part of the reason for that was there's a site in Marignon that's going to kill X number of ghosts per turn. So anyway, just go ahead and get that out of the way. We don't want to camp out on top of Marignon for a long time is basically it. Our crossbow's still going strong. We have cracked through the middle. Unfortunately, though, this guy is here. And he's pretty beefy. He's 27 protection, and then he's got a Shield of Valor, so the crossbows aren't going to kill him. I think this actually is from my guy. I think this is my Shield of Valor. And then my Dancing Shield. I think he stole that from my console. Anyway, and some other gear. He was fluffed somehow to have regen. And so unfortunately he's going to be almost immune to ghosts. And we've got the big Baconator over here, who has proceeded to fatigue himself out trying to trample ghosts, which is basically what happens. And unfortunately for the big Baconator, amidst the crowd is Private Plumpkit. And Private Plumpkit is equipped for this job. He's got the Dusk Dagger and the Enchanted Spear, and with these, he will be landing some pretty devastating blows on top of this guy, and most importantly, potentially, giving him profuse bleeding. Now the banishment's kind of going. We've got darkness that has set in, and Rigor Mortis has definitely taken effect. As you can see, the occasional banishment dropping, but mostly everybody's dead. Now some of my guys have retreated, because we took some pretty fair attrition. But we've got the Mercury Elementals here poisoning my crossbows. And unfortunately, these guys are very distracted by Ruiner. They're not terribly interested in getting back here where they, probably should go. And this Mercury Elemental is just very confused about what he's supposed to do. Crossbowmen are now routing, largely thanks to damage from the Mercury Elemental. But this Mercury Elemental, is this mine? I think so. Yeah, he seems to be doing some good work. Okay, and this one's finally made it back. You can see they're quite devastating when they actually get in there. And this guy has just killed a tremendous number of my ghosts. Yeah, 219. A lot of those are from this combat. The big boar has been spanked. And these consoles appear to be somehow... Oh, they're spamming apostasy at him to see if we get him. Let's see if that happens. Go ahead and put this in high speed now. We've got some consoles running amok back here, killing everybody. And the Mercury Elemental coming back this way. And this guy is now in trouble, because this Mercury Elemental is not a bitch, unlike the rest of my ghosts. So there we go. Mercury Elementals actually did a fair amount of work for me. Unfortunately, they also killed a fair amount of crossbows. And we lost a ton of stuff. We lost 500 dudes, which that's about one turn of ghost production at this point. But we didn't lose much that mattered. And more importantly, I would take this trade if I could do it every turn. Well, maybe not. But we got a lot of gear. Almost 500 dudes worth of gear. We got an Alquill, Lightless Lantern, Alquill, Dragon Helmet, Winged Shoes, Dancing Shield, back in our inventory again. And then we got an Amulet of Anti-Magic. And he lost basically everything. Which is exactly how we would have it. And then finally we see a battle here, where it looks like the armies of Gath are going to be pouring through. We've got just enormous amounts of swarm spin coming from Arko. But I believe that is only going to delay the inevitable here. Yeah. You need some mages that actually do things. These guys are not terribly... I mean, they can do swarm, but... You know, they're not terribly effective in combat. Just leave it at that. What are these guys doing? Yeah, they hit pretty hard. Okay, so that was it. Got some gold, some bad events, construction rituals are cheaper. I'm not going to go through my moves this turn, but we'll talk a little bit, because we're going to kind of... I need to catch up with where I was. I was out of town, and then... Yeah. Basically, we're going to take all the research items, strip them off these guys, put them on the other guys that we got here. We are going to... We can see Atlantis over here posturing. I'm not totally sure where he's going to go. He's got an army here. He's got an army here. He's probably wanting to take this fort, and he's probably wanting to take this one or this one. And then these guys, I'm actually a little worried, or maybe I'm most worried about these guys coming back here and stopping maybe one of my forts going up. Because I think, you know, having conquered Marignon and having this army here, I think he's going to pull this army back and maybe defend up here. But if he pushes inwards, we're going to be in a little bit of trouble. But that said, I think we're safe enough to go ahead and start fort construction. So I think I start that here this turn. But we'll go ahead and pull up the next turn. Yeah. Turn 42. We have some more Tupelics coming to visit. In this case, they kill a couple commanders, which again, I would consider a loss for him. We get Grove of Evergreens, which is a Nature 1 site, which is very nice. And coming down, we've got a battle here. Okay, so I didn't talk about some of the Diplo. Gath and I have made a nap. Basically, Gath was like, hey, thanks for killing my dude who was on top of that fort. And I was like, yeah, that's payback for the time you had a nap. Except the other time, I think I had a nap with him, and he saw I was going to move on top of a fort because I'd been on it like every other turn, and he moved a whole army there and killed my guy. In this case, I don't have a nap with Gath. But anyway, I killed his dude, and we took his stuff. But yeah, we'll go through all the events. But anyway, we had been talking, and here's the thing. I was like, hey, I know you're going to turn on me once you eat Arko. And he's like, no, I might go after somebody else. Maybe I need to end my nap with him. He's going to turn on me once he eats Arko. Yeah, I don't know. Even a few turns respite would be nice. Anyway, we agreed to a nap, but the terms were I get this and he gets this from me. So anyway, I took that from him this turn. That's what that battle was you were just watching. Here we raid Atlantis. Here, Bogarus, he attacks some of the undead that are taking over his part of the world. And then here we can see the armies of Atlantis rolling in. And he's got a bunch of idiots led by some undead idiots, and they are going to, anyway, take that. And then here we have a battle inside the fort for Agartha, and this I think is the last Agarthan fort. And so back here there's a lot of, I think there's a few of his cap-only guys. Oh no, these are Catonian Reanimators, sorry, I thought I saw the big staff guys. A couple alchemists and some attendants of the dead, and they're going to make some undead, which are not terribly effective against ghosts, but he's doing some purifying water, some magma bolts, all those things will kind of work. So yeah, they're going to kill things. But eventually my flankers get in. So anyway, he killed a fair amount of stuff. 139 guys, not bad for not great either for like 20 mages. I mean, not efficient. If he had a front line or something, it would have gone better. But, I mean, Agartha, he might even be AI at this point. I think he did stay till about the end, so this might be his last turn. Well, he might actually be eliminated. Let's see at the bottom. Yeah, Agartha's been permanently defeated. What events we get? Tax, minus population, earth gems, and then unrest. Okay. So anyway, that is that. You can see I actually have the real turn for this one, though. His army was here before. I was thinking he might move inwards. So I basically consolidated a huge force. It was from here and from here. We consolidated a huge force here to intercept him. But it appears he went south. We can also see here a very large force from Pythium. So anyway, they've got those guys. And then another Atlantis force here. And I have been building up here to kind of like block him in. And in fact, we're going to search here, site search here with Sakane, and we're going to consolidate a huge army in case he wants to decide to push his luck and roll in this way. And that is because, indeed, we did start building a palisade here last turn, and I think I've got one more under construction somewhere. Maybe I do it this coming turn after this. But I want to put a palisade here. The thing is, if I get enough of this defense network set up, and my dominions start pushing this way. I've already templed this. Micton has been templed, so the population's going to be crashing here pretty quickly. But if I get this and this done, then I basically get this as a free fort too. And it's going to help me too once I get this throne. Which actually, we're going to go ahead and take this turn. I'm basically sending in Bobo and a bunch of idiots. And they're going to go poke these sea trolls with their pointy sticks. And hopefully we should take control of this throne. Now, the throne can only be one of two. It can either be the Throne of the Churning Ocean, which I think I would prefer, where I get a conjuration bonus and water gems. Or it would be the Throne of Fortune, where I get luck but I don't need, but I get 2 pearls, which I can always use pearls. So, yeah. We'll take that, but I really want to secure up my presence now on this portion. And I think what I'm going to do, like ideally is I get all of this forted, and then maybe I start forting down here and get these bottom 2, but I'd like to get kind of a block at least right here. Or maybe I do these next, I don't know. But we're getting reasonably close to the point we could try to win. We only need 7 thrones to win. Right now we have 4, this will be 5. So we need 2 more after that. Now, this one's going to be pretty easy. I don't think anybody could stop me from taking that. But getting another one after that would be tricky. There's Kalim's throne right here. There's these guys' throne. And there's this throne. And then potentially I could make a play and run up here and go for the underwater throne up this way. Or like Satis attacked me, so I actually could possibly push through and get this. So maybe my easiest way for a throne victory is to go for this one, and then to go for this one Atlantis has. And if I get all of these, then I think I win. Satis has a fair amount of like Sarumancers that are undead he could send underwater. Gath has some kind of super combatants he could send underwater. But I think I'm pretty safe. Kalim has white mages he can cloud trapeze in. But I feel like those are things I could deal with. Anyway, I could push through and just win by taking this. I think that's probably the best idea. Because diplomacy... I kind of wish I didn't have so many thrones. I mean, I think I'm getting to the point where I can win. But it's making Diplo really hard. Because I think this turn I get a message from Satis saying he's ending our nap. I get a message from Kalim saying he's ending our nap. Kalim and I think only had a nap too. Maybe I get it from Kalim like after this turn, but before the next. And then Gath, I think, is going to end his nap with me, end his nap with me basically as soon as he conquers Arko's last fort. But potentially I can make a play on this throne before Gath does that, which I don't really Like I was kind of looking forward to getting into the late mid game part of this. But diplomacy, I think, is such that it's going to be better. I think I try to sneak a win out if I can. I probably should send a scout down here. This guy's amphibious and stealthy. Maybe I sneak him in. Go over here. So anyway, that's basically it. We've captured Marignon. We are going to be kind of having a defense here. These guys, okay, these guys are moving on top of this fort. This fort is not yet cracked. So anyway, I kind of want to get this one just for the enchantment bonus. But then again, I'm like potentially I could get liches in some of them here. Some of the globals I could put up here. The globals would be worth it if I can organize getting the right caster there the right turn. But I don't want to summon liches this far away from, because they'll be, you know, tied there with their immortality, and I don't really want that because I can't guarantee I hold this. But if somebody's taking, like, where's the place where I'm summoning them right now? Yeah, like right here. If somebody takes this from me, there's a pretty good chance I basically lost the game. So, okay, that's basically it. I'm doing a bunch of things in the background. You can see a bunch of arrows. The main goal is I want to have basically, I want to get troops from the middle of my empire, move them to the side. Particularly, I need to reinforce these armies over here because I had a huge amount of attrition taking Marignon, so I need to get more dudes over there. I think what we'll do, we'll look at the score graphs because I kind of look at those almost every turn when I play, and then we'll close out for this episode. Provinces, you can see we've got the steady upwards march. Forts, forts. We have an unbroken march forward. I mean, just look at this. This is a lot of forts, guys. I bet you the next person on the fort graph is probably like right here. So we have a lot. It's possible we have more forts than everybody else combined. Unlikely, but possible. Income. We're probably not the income leader, but we're probably in the top 3. And it's possible we're the income leader. But you can see taking Marignon's capital, I think that was this jump. And I'm not sure what other stuff we took, but looking pretty good. Gym income, not bad. This is when we lost, what do you call it? Eternal Pyre. But it didn't really affect us, so really our income's a little higher. But you can see we've caught back up to that. I think this was like finding Litter Skull and things like that, or maybe that was this. Anyway, we've had some pretty good luck. Research, you can see we're inflecting up again. You can just see this research graph starting to change. You know, the slope, you can see this slope inflection here, slope inflection here. Dominion, just marching. I think this was this the turn? I think last turn we took. You can't even bear, okay. Oh, what was I looking at? Oh, I was looking at Dominion. It's like, wait, I should be able to see the Marignon battle. I think this was we have 2 big battles, and these are the 2 big battles. I can't remember which one was which. One of these was fighting Atlantis, and one of them was fighting Marignon, I think. Anyway, this one we went down a tiny bit, but we're very close to 500 ghosts a turn. And then ascension points, we're doing pretty solid over here. So I think that is it for this episode. I will see y'all next time. Take care.